Hi, this is Richa here again from Think Round. Hope you guys are doing good. And welcome to episode 3 of our IG Live series Earth Hearts Artist Talk. This IG series features 4 wonderful artists from our next virtual exhibit, Piece Together, which is going to open in just next 2 days on November 2nd. So we are very excited about it. Stay tuned for more information on that. And today we are very excited to invite our next guest, who has laid foundation for Think Round Inc., our very own Heidi Hardin, founder and executive director of Think Round Inc. So let's see if we can get her online right away. Okay, I think it's going to take some time. So let's talk a little bit about our next virtual exhibit, which is going to open in just next 2 days. So we'll be dropping the link to our gallery in our link in Instagram, so you guys can check it out on November 2nd. And also we will be giving the link of our shop, thinkround.shop, where you can purchase all these wonderful artworks by these 4 wonderful artists. So there we have kept all the artworks in different angles, so you can see how it looks up close, how it looks in your living room, on top of your sofa or your furniture. So you can have a better look of how the artwork will look when you purchase it. So don't miss it out, guys. I'm telling you, this is one of the best virtual exhibits I've ever seen. All the artworks from all the artists have these different flavor, and it's just a right combination of right combination of colors, right combinations of themes, and the story behind them is just so beautiful. So don't miss out on November 2nd. Thank you. Okay. It's taking some time.
Hi, Heidi.
Hello there, Richa. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's just a delay a little bit. I was not able to get you online.
Well, I didn't see any message that you were asking me to join, so
Oh, is it?
it was in.
Okay, no worries. But you're here, and I'm so happy that you're here. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, we are. And I was just telling our viewers that you are the person who laid foundation for Think Round. So this episode is really special for us because I have interviewed you before, but this is the first time I'm taking you online.
Yeah, exactly. It's a new experience for me.
Yeah, that's great. All right, Heidi, without any delay, I'll just start the interview. So tell us a little bit about your background and how did you come to become an artist?
Well, I came to California from Oklahoma City to study biology. I went to UC San Diego, and by the time I was ready to graduate with my degree, fortunately, I'd taken art as a minor, and my painting teacher, Manny Farber, said, "You're a virtuoso painter. If you really don't want to go to medical school, I'll help you get into graduate." He said, "I'll make sure you get into graduate school in the art department."
Oh, great.
So I said, "Sheesh, thank you." Yeah, it was great.
Oh, perfect. Well, I think that's what I have. That's the thing which I get when I interview people, that they finally get where they have to be. You know, they can do the degrees and then they finally get these instincts, and especially with the artists, they just can't let their instinct go. And I think that is the bliss you have in your life, that you can still follow your instincts and then turn it into profession, and then bless us with your beautiful artworks. So thank you.
It was definitely a higher power deal in my life to end up in the arts and sciences, which I never thought I would be able to merge, but I did. Here in San Francisco, teaching the children in the children's mural program with artists from the Hunters Point Shipyard. That's how I came to know Mary and Mark Ellen, and I've just now gotten to meet and come to appreciate Kim's work and Kim as a person. So it's very special for me to be reconnecting with Mary, especially because Mary's the first artist from the shipyard who helped me start the children's mural program. We went to one classroom and at Carver Elementary School, and then from there we expanded thanks to generous support from the redevelopment agency into all 5 elementary schools. So we went from teaching 20 kids the art and science of the cleanup and reuse of the shipyard to about 300 a year for 20 years. So it's been a journey that was one baby step at a time.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so for our viewers, Heidi is talking about the other 3 wonderful artists who are showing their artworks with Heidi Hardin, next virtual exhibit. And that her deep connection with these wonderful artists was I think the baseline for coming together and doing this exhibit, right?
Right. I emailed Mark Ellen about doing a show with artists here at Think Round Fine Arts with artists from the shipyard who had been part of our children's mural program, which is who we feature in our gallery and have for the past, 5 years or so more. I don't know how long Think Round Fine Arts has been around, but in any case, we've featured the artists who grew the children's mural program into the very nationally acclaimed art and science enrichment program for the elementary school kids in Bayview, Hunters Point. And so Mark Ellen, when the COVID thing happened, or before the COVID thing happened, she had picked the artists for me. And so she curated this, and I'm just thrilled that we're all together now, because Mark Ellen and Mary have been like bookends for me.
Oh, great. Well, yeah, it's a happy thing that you reunite with the friends which were there since the beginning, and still take this relationship forward and do something like this even after years. So yeah, it takes that deep connection to come this far.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Mark Ellen has shown here several times, so I've been in touch with her, but reconnecting with Mary has been important, and getting to know Kim is special.
Perfect. So Heidi, can you give us a glimpse of your artworks which you're going to show in this in this exhibition, and to tell us a story behind them?
Well, before I get up and show you, because I have to stand up and move around, I'm just going to tell you that I grew up with a lot of childhood adversity. I don't know if people know about ACEs, Adverse Childhood Experiences, but my ACE score, if you Google ACE test NPR and take it yourself, you can find out what your score is. I have 9 out of 10 of the traumas that affect the development of the child's brain and body. And so it was a relief to me when I found out that there's medical science behind all of the adversities that I've faced in my life, and that the physical health that I've suffered from. And so part of that was not remembering a lot of my childhood. And so I started painting my own family when I got into graduate school from old family photos. And eventually in 2015, so when I got into graduate school, that was 1976 or something. From then until 2015, when I put these collages together, I was trying to remember what happened. And the earliest painting that I have of family in my studio is a portrait I did of myself, my brothers and I, when we were little. It's can you see that?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, so this is called The Three Little Ones with their creation Frosty. So this is how it was for me when I was young. I was like faceless, legless, these wobbly legs that we were standing on, and just sort of frozen. And I really had a deep faith in a higher. My mother was an Episcopalian from on high, and so I got imbued with that enriched spiritual connection to my higher power. So as I came to began to remember, and then finally ended up having in this series of collages to piece together what happened, I did it year by year, and I used class photos from kindergarten through 12th grade. So I'll just show you the first my kindergarten image. And can you see that, Richa?
I can, yeah.
Is that a good place?
I think you need to go a little bit farther so that we can see the whole artwork. Yeah. So I can see the whole artwork. If you want to show the details of it, then you can go a little near to that.
Okay, so right about this height is good?
Yes, it's fine.
See the whole thing.
Yeah.
So that's me in the middle, and these are my classmates, obviously, and this is all of this is very personal symbology. This is a duck, because my dad said, you're an ugly duckling. One day your prince will come and he'll do this stuff for you. Meaning he'll anyway, he'll do this stuff for you. And in the meantime, please swear to God never to tell on me for molesting you, so I don't have to go to jail. So from the time I was in kindergarten until I got into recovery and began to really piece together my life, I had been trying to be invisible and keep silent because I didn't know what was going to put my dad in jail. So it's been a very difficult recovery, but the rewards outweigh the difficulties. This is my first grade image. When I was just after my dad stopped molesting me, we went to a church picnic in a public park, and a guy came out of the bathroom. I went to the bathroom by myself for the first time. A guy is there when I come out. He says, do you know the bear went over the mountain? And I said, sure. And so we sang. I held his hand. We went up. He said, see that mountain? Well, let's go see what we can see. So as soon as we got up at the top of the hill, he says, he hiked me up on his hip, and he said, if you scream, I'll kill you. So I passed out and didn't remember that for many years. So the bear is the guy who assaulted me at what I would have been 5 going on 6. So my memoir is called Up to Age 6. And this is my second grade. So, you know, this infant and the bear sitting on my chest, and this nickel, my dad used to always say, if it costs more than a nickel, you can afford it. So, and then I had 2 swears here, one to protect my dad. And as soon as I swore to do that, I said, I swear I'll never have kids if this is how parents treat their kids. And so those 2 swears have sort of kept me silent, and they've grown and changed. And of course I mythologize being an ugly duckling. And so swans have been a big part of my iconography, and painted swans for years, looking for my prince to come, and painted murals in 4th grade. When I'd get in trouble, my teacher would have me stay in class and paint murals for the kids, for everyone in the class. So you get the idea that it was not a fun childhood. And after my parents divorced in the 2nd grade, but my mother remarried a diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic when I was in the 5th grade. And so when he went off his medications, he would drink, and when he drank, he would batter. And so the first batterer I ever met was my stepdad, and I got punished for calling the police on him. And of course, because he was a small town doctor, they would not rein him in. So all of these collages tell very personal, very raw, very honest, excruciatingly honest details about what it was like for me. This is my 7th grade picture. This is when I left my mother. We moved 9 times in 2 years trying to get away from that guy. So I told my sister Kay, I can't stay with mother anymore. I have to go. And she said, okay. So I moved in with my dad, and he had a new wife. Mm-hmm. And that was chaotic. Mm-hmm. So this is 7th grade, the separation from my mom and moving in with my dad, and the dragonfly is symbolic. Mm-hmm. And so just all of these collages that you'll see in the gallery tell my story. And now the stones are becoming chakra centers, and it's just been very interesting. I started when I moved in with my dad and stepmom. Drinking mm-hmm. became a daily thing for me in the 7th grade, or 5th, yeah, 7th grade. Mm-hmm. So from the 7th grade until I was 34, I used alcohol to manage my hard feelings. Mm-hmm. So that's it. And so this is, if you come and listen to the gallery, because they're audio files that tell the stories. I couldn't read them myself. They're too hard for me to read. But if you go into the gallery, there's audio files connected to each of these where the to-do lists of each of these years. There's things that I learned to do in each of those years of my early education that set the stage for who I was to become, and all the things that all the blessings, the silver linings that have come out of that. So, and I've done many artworks. I've done in fact, all of my artworks are about my childhood and trying to piece together and create something beautiful and inspiring and joyful, and take the hard feelings, tempering and redirecting my hard feelings. Mm-hmm. And I think my stories, my memoir, and the essays, I wrote an essay for this book that's become
we know that. It has become a bestseller on Amazon. Guys, go buy this.
I have an essay in here called Happily Ever After. Mm-hmm. The Happily Ever Now. Mm-hmm. It's about finding the light, the moments of light in everything we think, say, and do, and everything that everybody thinks, says, and does, because it's here. The present is here, and it's a present. Mm-hmm. So I've had to learn to be here now, and appreciate how magnificent this planet is, the people on the planet, and how precious. The kids in the children's mural program, I taught them that when the air, water, and soil are happy and healthy, the plants, animals, and people can be. And when I realized that they were teaching me that it takes a village to clean up and reuse one's toxic childhood, then I began to really heal and find the kind of peace of mind and inner strength and inner guidance from my own higher power, because for many decades my dad was my higher power, and I was so confused about what God was and who God was and how to do God's will and to do the next right thing. So finally I've sorted all that out, and I feel like I've been blessed with many powerful messages about resilience, hope, strength, honesty, compassion, forgiveness. So I hope that you'll buy the book. There's 60 authors. There's 60 puzzles in here. It's a word search puzzle game. So that's it.
Well, what an inspiring story, Heidi. And because we have talked about it a lot of times, and again, I'll say it that, whatever has happened in the past, it doesn't define us. What defines us is what we do next. And as you clearly and very rightly said, that present is the only time we have to take care of. We do not belong to past, and we do not know about the future. And there is no future. It's just the present coming one after another. So the energy which we have and aligned with others, and how we can take care of that energy and keep it at peace, I think that's the key for a peaceful and happy life later. And with your life, what you have done with just having the inner feelings coming out, working on it, just not suppressing it, working on it, and just coming out of the tunnel and see the light and inspiring yourself. I'm sure that you would have felt that you have surprised yourself so many times, and I think that's the best feeling anybody can have. And inspiring others is the piece of, it's like cherry on the top, wherein your life has a purpose, and people are getting benefited with your powerful energy around you. So thank you so much for sharing your story. I'm sure it inspires all our viewers. It surely inspires me, and we can keep up the good work ahead.
All right. I just want to add one thing, Richa. I just want to say that if anybody needs trauma recovery, Think Round Inc., our nonprofit, offers a health and wellness program called Turning the Tide of Trauma. And honestly, I could not be present until I started to do this trauma incident reduction program. And so getting into the now meant going through the past and uncovering and recovering myself. So I had to really spend a lot of time with one listener. It's a peer-to-peer program. I had one listener, and the scripts that Diana Conant has created for trauma incident reduction, her Turning the Tide of Trauma, transformed my life, and it has opened doors to many, many bigger and better things, including this exhibit and being online with you, and not being ashamed, not keeping these secrets anymore. So for all of us to have that paradigm shift from that fear model of being obedient and obeying our parents, we can shift into a truly loving model where we are experience that compassion and abundance and support of one another.
Well, I'm so glad that you got this help. As you said, that the higher power just aligns everything. If you believe, and if you decide that, okay, today is the day when I'm gonna start changing things piece by piece. And then I think that's how we have come to this virtual exhibit piece together with other these lovely artists, and I'm sure that people are gonna get inspired by your story. And guys, as she said, that if you need help, you can contact us. Our email ID is info@thinkround.org. You can send us the email, or send us a DM on Instagram. We'll see what we can do together. So thank you so much, Heidi, for joining us today, and have a lovely weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Bye.